What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your RAMSYS12 speaker system. So as you can see, it comes with one active speaker and one passive speaker, a 1/4-inch cable to connect the speakers together, a power cable to power or charge our speaker. We also got 2 speaker stands, 2 microphones with 2 sets of batteries, and a wireless remote. So the first thing we can do to set up our speaker system is set up the speaker stands. To do that, we can start with one of our stands and loosen this knob here. From there, we're able to pull down on the base of the speaker stand so the legs spread out like this. And once you have the legs spread out the way you want, you can then tighten the knob back up to lock it in place. From here, we can adjust the height of the speaker stand by loosening this top knob here. And as I pull on the top of the speaker stand, you'll see these holes here that we can use with our safety pin to further secure the height of the stand. So once we have it set to the desired height, we can then take our pin and run it through the most bottom hole. And then you'll notice that this pin keeps the top of the stand from falling back down. And then we can tighten this knob here to fully secure the height of the stand. So once our stand is all set up, we can then take one of our speakers. And if you look at the bottom of the speaker, you'll see this knob here that we can use to loosen the 35mm pole mount. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen that up. And then we can line up the pole mount on the bottom of the speaker to the top of our stand, slide it on in, and then once we have our speaker set to the stand, we can tighten the knob back up to fully secure the speaker onto the stand. Great, so now that we have our first speaker set up to our first stand, we can then follow the exact same steps for our second stand and our second speaker. So now that we've got both speakers set up to their stands, we can then connect the two with our included 1/4-inch cable. We're gonna take one end and plug it into the speaker out on our active speaker. Then we're gonna take the other end and plug it into the speaker in on our passive speaker. So now let's go ahead and turn on our active speaker. So like I mentioned, we have 2 wireless microphones we can use with our speaker system, and what's also really cool is that there's a mic holder on each side of our active speaker for each of our microphones. So to set them up, we're gonna unscrew the bottom of our microphones here to reveal the battery compartment. We can then take the included batteries and place them inside of the microphone with the positive end facing the bottom. Then we can screw the bottom caps back onto the mics. So once we're ready to use our microphones, we can press this VHF power button here. Then we can raise the mic A and mic B volume knobs. And now if I turn on my microphone, check 1, 2, you should be able to hear my voice coming out of the speaker. You'll also notice we have a separate mic input so we can connect a wired microphone through XLR or 1/4-inch. So to show you that setup, I'm gonna take my microphone and my XLR cable. I'm gonna plug the female end into my microphone, then plug the other end into the mic input here. I'm then gonna go ahead and raise the mic volume knob. And now if I turn on my microphone, check 1, 2, you should be able to hear my voice coming out of the speakers. So this is just another option we have on top of using the 2 wireless microphones. Another cool thing about this microphone input is the echo knob here to give our voice an echo effect. We also have this talkover feature here that will lower the music that's playing out of our speaker while we talk into the mic so we hear our voice more clearly through the speakers. So for example, we have some music playing through the speakers right now, and if I wanted to give an announcement, I can press this talkover button, and now if I turn on my mic and start talking into it, check 1, 2, you'll hear the music lower so I can give my announcement nice and clear. Now we can also use the mic input to set up an instrument like a guitar or keyboard. So to do that, I can take my 1/4-inch cable, plug one end into my guitar, then plug the other end into the mic input. Now I can go ahead and raise the mic volume knob and the volume on my guitar. And now if I play, you'll hear the guitar coming out of the speakers. So what's also really cool is that we can use the wireless microphones along with our guitar for a vocal and instrument setup. So I can turn on my microphone and have my voice coming out of the speakers, and then I can play my guitar and start singing along at the same time. Yeah. The echo knob will also work while we have our guitar plugged in, so if I raise the echo knob and play a chord, you'll hear that echo trail. So on the back, we also have an XLR and an RCA line input to connect external speakers, mixers, etc. And we also have an XLR line output to expand our setup with additional speakers and subwoofers. We also have a graphic EQ here to dial in the exact sound we want coming out of our speakers. We also have these terminals here to charge our speaker through an external battery. And underneath the LED display here, we have all of the buttons that we can use for music playback or to switch the input mode for the speaker. So we have the pause and play button here that can also be used for the scan or TWS setting. The mode button to switch the input mode. A repeat button to repeat our track. The skip back or go forward buttons to switch our tracks. And the EQ button to set our speaker to different preset EQs. We also have the SD and the USB input to play music from. But keep in mind, if you are playing music from those sources, you'll want to raise the MP3 volume knob or else you won't be hearing that music coming out of the speakers. This speaker also has Bluetooth compatibility, so we can pair any smartphone or tablet. So to show you how that works, I have my smartphone right here. I'm going to go into the Bluetooth settings of my phone and search for the device that reads RAMSYS12. Click on it to pair, and then you'll hear that sound letting you know your device is connected. You also want to raise the MP3 volume for this mode in order to hear your music coming through the speakers. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the speaker around so we can hear how it sounds. That's awesome. Now, because we can use these microphones and connect a Bluetooth device, this would actually make for a great karaoke setup. So for that, I can use my tablet here so I can look up a karaoke version of a song and read the lyrics nice and clear. And to connect it to the speakers, I'm going to go to the Bluetooth settings, search for the device that reads RAMSYS12, click on it to pair, and then you'll hear that sound letting you know your device is connected. So from here, we can go to the YouTube app and search for any karaoke version of a song and have the music playing out of our speakers while we can read the lyrics from the tablet or smartphone. And don't forget, we can raise the echo knob for some extra star power. Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get your show on, get paid. Now we can also use the line output to expand our setup further with additional speakers or subwoofers like the one we have here. So to do that, I'm going to take an XLR cable and plug the female end into the line out on the back of my speaker. Then I can take the other end and plug it into the line input on the back of my sub. I can then set the volume and the crossover on my sub. And then most importantly, I'm gonna raise the line level here on the back of the speaker, so that way everything coming from the speaker will also come out of the sub. So let's go ahead and hear how the sub sounds with our whole setup. Whoa! Makes a big difference. Sweet. Now you can also follow the same exact steps if you wanted to set up an external speaker instead of a subwoofer. Another cool thing is if you had another pair of RAMSYS12 speakers, you can set them up to the first pair through TWS or true wireless stereo connection. So for that setup, you just want to make sure that both of your active speakers are turned on, and then you want to pick which one you want to use as your main speaker. So for today, let's go with this one here. We're also going to want to set both of our active speakers to the Bluetooth mode using the mode button here. After that, we're going to go back to our main speaker, and all we have to do is hold down the TWS button, which is also our pause and play button. After you hear that, you'll know your two speakers are connected, and you can also tell because our first speaker will read Bluetooth BTA and the second speaker will read Bluetooth BTB. So after that, we can pair our smartphone or tablet to the speakers by going into the Bluetooth settings, search for the device that reads RAMSYS12, click on it to pair, and after you hear that sound, you'll know your Bluetooth device is connected to both speakers. In case you don't hear anything coming out of either speakers, you just want to make sure to raise the MP3 volume knob. So let's go ahead and hear how they all sound together. Another bonus for you guys is that because both of these speakers have the VHF technology for the wireless microphones, you can use just one of these microphones with all four of these speakers. To do that, you just want to make sure to press down the VHF power button on both speakers, raise up the mic A and the mic B volumes on both speakers just in case you want to use all of your microphones. And now if I talk into my microphone, check 1, 2, you should be able to hear my voice coming out of all four speakers. This is also another cool way to expand our karaoke setup with 4 speakers, since we can connect our smartphone or tablet. Now we can also expand our setup even further with a mixer, which is great to use for live performances, band practices, etc. So to do that, I'm just going to need 2 XLR cables. I'm going to take the female ends and plug them into the main XLR outputs on my mixer. Then I'm going to take the other ends and plug them into the XLR line inputs on both of my active speakers. Now, if you just had one pair of these speakers, all you'll have to worry about is plugging the XLR cable into the left output of your mixer, and then you can just plug the other end into the line input of your active speaker. So now I can go ahead and turn on my mixer. And now to hear everything from the mixer coming out of the speakers, I'm going to want to raise the line level knob on both of my active speakers. To test out my setup, I'm going to take a microphone and plug it into my first channel here. I can then raise the gain and the level of that channel, and then raise the main mix knob on my mixer. And now if I turn on my microphone, check 1, 2, you should be able to hear my voice coming out of all the speakers. So again, this is great for live performances or band practices, since you can connect all of your microphones or instruments through the mixer and have everything coming out of all of the speakers. On top of this, you can also use the line outputs on both speakers to expand your setup even further with additional speakers or subs. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your RAMSYS12 speaker system. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.